Hey everybody. So, number 30 in the Criterion Collection. It is actually our first German film by director Fritz Lang, who is possibly the most famous director to come out of Germany, from 1931, M, which Fritz Lang considers his masterpiece, as well he should. M is an excellent movie. I've seen it before, and that's not the case with a lot of these, especially the foreign films in the Criterion Collection. I saw it on the last silver screen in Dallas. And apparently, silver screens are supposed to be extra good for black and white films like this one. It's supposed to make the contrast pop even more. So, that, I guess, is the best viewing experience you could have for this movie. The movie is about a child serial killer. However, no scenes of violence are actually depicted in the movie. Instead, it'll be things like he buys a little girl a balloon, and then later it fades to black, and you just see the balloon fly away. Right? So there's no outright acts of violence portrayed here. It stars Peter Lorre. And if you don't know who Peter Lorre is, I can't help you a lot. No actor in the world looks scared like Peter Lorre does. Peter Lorre also has a distinctive voice. His voice was so distinctive that his son made a living as a voiceover artist, basically impersonating his dad in commercials because that voice was just so distinctive. It is interesting, in his native German, that distinctiveness is not as evident. So let's see, how do we do this? We'll talk about the plot briefly first. Peter Lorre plays a serial killer. It's his first serious dramatic role instead of comedic, although from here he went on to mostly just do dramas. He finds and kills little girls in the city. They never specify the city, but it's a big city. We can assume it's, Berlin or Munich. Essentially, the police have been unable to catch this serial killer. He's killed 8 girls. Parents are freaking out. Everybody's freaking out in this city. There's a scene where a little girl stops by somebody and just says, "Excuse me, mister, do you know what time it is?" And he tells her the time. And all of a sudden, people start going, "Why are you talking to this girl?" and threatening him. Because the whole city is on edge. And the cops are doing raids around the clock trying to find this guy. It's getting extremely disruptive, so much so that the criminal element of the city has a meeting and says, "This can't go on. It's disrupting our business." And they decide to hunt down the guy as well. So the movie becomes the police trying to find him and all of the criminals in the city trying to find him. I could go on. I'm not going to spoil more of the plot than that. It is very good. Peter Lorre does an excellent job. He doesn't have a lot of dialogue in the first half, but he has an excellent monologue near the end that is just fraught. It is very good. If I'm going to be completely fair and balanced here, I do feel like the film is a little slow. It is less than 2 hours long, but it does feel a little slow in sections. But it is excellent. It is a very good film. It is credited also as being one of the first films to feature a leitmotif. What is a leitmotif? Think of it essentially kind of like a character's theme song within a movie. Peter Lorre, throughout the movie, whistles The Hall of the Mountain King, I believe is the name of it. If you heard it, you know it. I'm not going to try and sing a song for you now, but it's a very old, very famous song. And he whistles it pretty much all throughout the movie as he's going around hunting. So much so that sometimes you will hear the music and not see him, but you know that he's there. Kind of think of it like the Jaws theme, that da-da, da-da, da-da. When you hear that, even if you haven't seen Jaws yet, Jaws is around and things are about to get real. That's true here too. If you see a little girl looking in a shop window and then you start to hear that whistling the Hall of the Mountain King, that's not good. Leitmotifs are very common now. I mean, it is a common part of the language of film. And supposedly, I haven't verified this, right? I just read up on it, and it was claimed that this was the first example of a leitmotif being used, which I think is pretty cool. So, That's what I'm... Oh, I will say one other thing that I found interesting about this movie, because it was made in 1931. The Nazi Party existed, but we weren't yet full-blown Nazi. And Fritz Lang wanted to make a movie about a child serial killer. But the title wasn't M. It was something like Killer of Children or something. And the Nazi government said, whoa, no, you can't make that. It's going to make us look bad, based solely on the title. And Fritz Lang had to explain to them, no, here's what the plot of the movie actually is. This movie is not political in any way, shape, or form. And then they said, oh yeah, then you can go ahead and make that. And just, if your first reaction to, I want to make a movie about a guy who kills children is, but what if it makes me look bad? You might be the bad guys. That's it. That's our first German film, and what a way to start. I like it. So, next, number 31, Great Expectations from the United Kingdom, 1946, directed by David Lean. The one after that is Oliver Twist, also directed by David Lean from the United Kingdom. So we're going to do back-to-back classic literature adaptations. I'll see you guys later.